let's make lemonade. Okay, let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go! 6! It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Yeah, something's messed up with the end of that on my audio. That's all right. It's the Rush powered by Willis Automotive. Willis Automotive is proud to power the Rush Show. Whether you're searching for new, pre-owned, or certified, Willis is driven to serve. Visit willisauto.com and discover a better car buying experience at Willis Automotive, where your next great drive begins. Welcome to our Wednesday morning get-together. Ross Peterson and Justin Miller here with you on The Rush at therushradio.com, taking your phone calls at 517-2303, here till 8 o'clock. Probably no Travis today or tomorrow, but we kind of thought that same thing yesterday, and we got drunk Trav with
which was
Philippe,
amazing.
Philippe.
He only introduced him 8 times. Don't worry.
Yeah, right. It's easy to forget. Easy to forget a guy like that. So today we'll do a lot of previewing of basketball. Tonight we have a huge matchup in the state. Iowa and Iowa State women. Number 10 and number 11 battling off tonight. I think it's a 6 o'clock tip. Is that right, Justin, on ESPN?
Yep.
Like
Biggest
that?
game of the week, probably in the state for sure. And then, honestly, for women's basketball. Like, this game's huge. 10
You
versus
said
12.
Say that again. Biggest game of the week.
In the state, like, I think it's bigger than the men's game, because of just where the two teams are positioned, the way the two teams play.
What an interesting take, Justin. Is it bigger than the men's game? I mean, obviously, with them both being ranked, kind of has a little bit more clout or weight, I guess. Is it bigger than the men's game? That's interesting. It's
Both
I
are
can't,
big.
I can't fight. I can't say, oh my God, what? 10 years ago, I would have been like, what are you smoking? Not the case. In fact, I bet if my dad's having a game watch party, it's probably for tonight's game, not for tomorrow night's game.
Really?
I would bet. He's big women's basketball fan for the Hawkeyes. That could be. I hadn't really, Justin, I hadn't thought about it being the biggest game of the week. Holy cow. So is the women's basketball game now up there with SIAC football is going to dominate?
Yeah.
Football is a whole
Yeah.
different stratosphere. Are people looking more forward to the women's game tonight than the men's game tomorrow night? That's an interesting one, Justin. I think that there's a section of people that would say absolutely. Yeah.
I think, too, for tonight's game, there's just, I think a lot of people are expecting tonight to be a back and forth battle. And then tomorrow
to be a little bit more of a blowout.
Yeah.
Good point.
After what you saw from Iowa State over the weekend, how you saw Iowa play Michigan State, I think both have potential to be really, really good games. I mean, we brought it up yesterday of how the last time Iowa State was ranked in the top 4 and played Iowa at Hilton was 2015, and that game went down to the wire. I mean, Iowa led by double digits at one point, and Iowa was unranked that year too. So it's basketball. It's one of the reasons we love it, of that excitement of the unknown. But looking at it on paper, I think tonight is going to be really, really close and really fun.
The 10-0 Iowa State Cyclones against the 9-0 Iowa Hawkeyes. Why is Iowa State showing? There's a strange thing with. Okay, it must be some sort of glitch. You know how it has their record and then their conference record. Instead, it's got what their records are home and away, because neither one have played a conference game yet.
Yeah.
So I was confused because it had 10-0, 7-0. And I'm like, damn, the Cyclones have played 7 Big 12 games already? How have they done that? That's why I was really confused for a minute. Both undefeated teams. Audie is averaging nearly 30 points a game. She's at 27.6 points per game. Hayden's the leading scorer for the Hawkeyes, around 16.1 points per game. This should be a really, really dynamic matchup. And again, I said this earlier in the week or last week. Audie's got it in her to go for 50. It's going to have to be the exact right scenario that Coach Family keeps her out there. It's going to have to be the right competition. I'm not saying she can go for 50 against Iowa, but this is the type of game that is going to shake out that way, where they're going to need her all 40 minutes. She's going to have to play a lot of time. I would imagine she'll be close to 30 minutes tonight. And in those 30 minutes, she's going to be the focal point of the offense in what should be a back-and-forth game.
Yeah, you're not expecting her to sit down with like half of the third quarter to go.
Unless something unexpected happens. Unless Iowa State is up by 20 or Iowa for that stretch and for that sake, and Bill Fennelly decides to keep everybody healthy. I mean, yeah, it's something that we don't expect to happen would have to happen in order for Audie to be in that 20-minute range.
What I love about this game is we're talking about the front court. We're talking about the post players first. That just is rare in basketball now because it's usually the guard play and the three-point shot. And the first people we're talking about in today's game is Audie Crooks, Hayden, Stolke, which Crooks is so good where she's going to get to her spot in the paint no matter what. She's just that dominant. I like Hayden's game a lot, though. She has really impressed me with the way she doesn't put the ball on the ground. She gets it. She makes a confident move towards the basket, or she has a high IQ and kicks it out. And I think that could challenge Audie, too, with just the speed that Hayden plays at. Gets the ball, makes a move.
Did you know that Audie right now is the leading scorer in all of women's basketball?
I think I saw a stat like that on Instagram, but I mean,
her 27.6 is 0.3 points more than Liv McGill from Florida, and just about 2 points better than Hannah Hidalgo from Notre Dame. So, leading scorer in the country right now, Audie Crooks.
She's been incredible. I mean, she's been incredible for. She's a junior, right?
Helps when you have those. Year? She's a junior. It does help when you have 47-point nights.
Doesn't hurt.
Those will up the average. 47 against Indiana. She had 30 and 19 minutes against Northern Illinois. She has been very, very consistent. And again, with most of these non-con games, she's been in that 20-minute range and still well over 20 points. She played 33 minutes against Indiana in that close game. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Indiana, she's out there for 33 minutes. She goes for 47.
I mean, what was it against Valpo? She scored 45 points in 19 minutes?
In something like that. Yeah. I'll see if I can get to the most recent game there. Against Valpo, she had 43 in 20 minutes.
It's crazy. And then you don't even, we haven't even mentioned Addie Brown, who's incredible too. I mean, is she averaging 18 points a game? 20 points a game?
The Cyclones here.
She's been right up there.
Just clicking through on Audie's national stats to see where she was at with stuff. The that famed ESPN matchup predictor. If you want to know how close this game is on paper, first of all, let me see if I can see if it's got a spread up there for us.
What does the 17-year-old that ESPN hires to do? You know what I picture? Do you remember? Because you and I are both like SNL guys, where we will bring up SNL skits a lot. Do you remember the one where they're doing the behind the scenes, the making of Game of Thrones, and Andy Samberg is the 14-year-old boy writer, and he's like, "Yeah, I make sure there's a lot of boobies in this."
I do. I vaguely remember this. I never watched Game of Thrones. I didn't understand how any of you guys got into that show.
I like it. Megan liked it.
Most people do.
I'm also a big Breaking Bad fan too.
Never seen an episode. Didn't get into it.
So good. So good. Favorite show of all time.
I can't do it with the dramas.
Why not?
I can't get into them. It's so fake. I can't suspend the reality. I can't look at Malcolm in the Middle's dad and go, oh yeah, now I'm going to pretend that he makes meth. Yeah, he got into the world of meth making. And then my favorite is when people are telling you about some made up story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go like, you won't even believe the plot twist. I go, well, yeah, because somebody made it up. Somebody made it up. That of course I won't believe it. It's a made up story.
I'm going to agree with a lot of people in the chat saying, just don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it.
I wish I could do that.
But
I
isn't
wish
that
so
with
much
so
I could
many
just shut
things
my
in life?
brain off.
Yeah.
Like occasionally, man, if it's like a funny show, I used to watch Arrested Development a lot.
Oh my God, I love Arrested Development.
I still will watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If new shows come out from It's Always Sunny, I'll get through those. And usually that's because Bruno and Ken Payne and I are talking about those. I loved it's I Think You Should Leave.
Yep, we bring that up
again,
constantly.
they have to be like, it has to be something funny. The Sons of Anarchy,
Sons of Anarchy was one that I liked when it came out. Like, watched it, loved it. And then it was maybe like our second year dating. Megan and I were trying to find something to watch. I was like, let's watch Sons of Anarchy. Clicked on it, and I was like, oh, this is a soap opera with bikes. Like, it did not hold up in my eyes.
Every now and again, I see clips from True Detective. Did you ever watch that on HBO?
The first season is one of the best.
That's when I can suspend reality. I forget that I'm watching Matthew McConaughey.
The first season is one of the best seasons of television ever. Like,
that's the only show, and I wish I had the comment section up so I could see Ray's reaction to this or other people's. That's the only show I've ever seen that actually got an acid flashback pretty close to being accurate. That's the only one that I ever saw where I was like, I've seen this. I've been there. Wait a minute. What? True Detective was really good. But
that was really good.
The people are always doing this to me. Oh, you got to watch Tombstone or Yellowstone. Or then you got to watch 1492. And then you got to watch Landman. And every one of them, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. If people I love tell me that I'm going to like this show, they know what I like, and I turn it on, and 10 seconds into it, I've got my phone out. And I'm like, this is boring. I got to find something else. It's my brain. It's me. It's a me problem, Justin. We're talking.
It sounds like it, because Breaking Bad is amazing. You brought up, because Bryan Cranston was in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
They filmed an alternate ending, him and the director of Breaking Bad, where it's the Malcolm in the Middle's dad waking up in bed. He's like, I had this awful dream. I was a drug dealer and I hurt people.
Do you know that they're stealing that idea from Newhart?
No.
So Bob Newhart, do you remember that name at all?
Yep.
Bob Newhart had a couple of shows on TV. He had the Bob Newhart show, and then he later on they kind of repurposed that show as just called it Newhart. Well, at the end of Newhart, the very last episode, he wakes up in bed in the old set with his first wife from the first sitcom, and the entire thing was a dream. It's like, oh my God, I just had a dream that I was living in this other town with this other woman and had this other family, and they made it all just a dream of the original sequence. How about this? Do you remember the show Hill Street Blues?
No.
That one I know. The early 80s. It's like a cop version of ER. So it was like this, drama about being a police officer in New York City. I think it was New York City. And now I'm screwing this up, dude. It wasn't Hill Street Blues. It was another show called St. Elsewhere that I'm thinking of. They were around the same time. St. Elsewhere was like the precursor to ER. It was a hospital. And there was a boy in the show that had like severe, what we now would call autism, right? He was like nonverbal, and he was just a character in the show for several years. Well, the very last episode, they're in the hospital and everything's going on, and it starts to zoom out from the hospital Well, as it zooms out farther, the hospital is just inside of a snow globe in the boys' room. And the idea is that the entire series that you just watched was just in the imagination of the nonverbal boy.
Those can either be hit or miss plot twists.
That one was a miss.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, what the I think it's a cop out.
I
think
agree.
it's a cop out way for the writers. And again, Newhart, I don't know if Newhart was the first one to do it. He's the first one that I remember doing it.
I agree. I think it's a cop out. But so sorry, I completely derailed. What does the matchmaker say or prediction maker say?
I forgot that we were talking about. I still have it up. 50.7 to 49.2.
What is it? Out of curiosity, let's see what it says for the men's game. Because we were talking about the projection of that game.
I'm going to guess it's like 90. Because didn't we look this up yesterday? I thought we had looked this up. I'm going to guess it's like 90-10, something like that. Oh, I don't care about the Purdue game. They kicked their ass 91-8.
91.4 to
8.6. Yeah. Which, again, that...
And again, like, because I saw a
right.
comment say, we fall into the trap of believing that what we last saw will happen again.
I'm
Both good and
guilty
bad.
of that all the time. I'm the most guilty of that as a sports fan. What I just
think
saw, I'm
all
going to see
fans do.
forever.
I think all
It's
fans
really
do.
easy when you in basketball, especially. Like we just saw it last weekend. We just saw it on Saturday. Iowa State goes out and beats the pants off the best team in the country. Just days after Iowa State or Iowa rather had struggled with a Michigan State team that's really good on that level with Iowa State. And it's easy to look at that and go, this is probably going to be a 25-point game. This is going to be, if Iowa can hold tight with them for the first half, we'll pat each other on the back as we head to the locker room. If this is a 10-point game, that's going to be a moral victory for Iowa. And Iowa State fans will go, damn, we should have beat that team. But, I mean, it's hard. It's the expectation's crazy right now for Iowa State fans. Again, because fans do that thing. What we just saw is what we're going to see. And if we just beat Purdue on the road by 23 or whatever it was, we're going to beat the shit out of the Hawkeyes. And now, if you don't go do that, it feels like there's some sort of regression in some way. When, again, this is a 10-point game. That's a nice win for Iowa State. On the men's side. On the women's side, it's a huge win.
And again, like, basketball is special to the point of where it could be one guy could go out there and hit 8 threes. I mean, Iowa has the players. I mean, we've seen it for years of like Samfords, all of them, who one special night, they can be the best player in the country. So, I mean, it can be down to the wire.
Justin, you remember the name Zach McCabe?
No.
He's a Hawkeye basketball player, and in a big game, in a big Iowa State game, came down to the wire, ball gets kicked out to him in the corner, shoots 3, misses the 3. And, of course, Hawkeye fans do what Hawkeye fans do and, find him on Twitter and tell him how awful he is and all that. And I remember Zach McCabe, it was one of the first things on Twitter where it was like, maybe athletes shouldn't be on Twitter. Because I think he gave the middle finger to Hawkeye fans and was like, man, screw you guys. Missed a shot. And people are like, yeah, but you missed against Iowa State. So screw you. You suck. You're the worst ever. Because my team lost a game. You're right, dude. There have been several guys over the years that have kind of changed the course of this game. Samford's a good one. But as I look at this game, I see Milan as that guy.
Yes.
Like if he's hot, Iowa State wins this game by 30.
Yes.
If he goes out there and he is, 5 of 10 from 3-point range, or 5 of 9, or whatever it is, that's going to be those 15 points are going to be enough because they'll probably come at big moments. They'll probably have a Dirk flavor to them. They'll come with 5 seconds left in the shot clock. They'll come in a turnaround situation that seems like it counts as 5 or 6 points.
We talked about it yesterday. He can score at all levels.
Yeah.
He can score driving. He's great from beyond the arc. And then he's really good at that fadeaway mid-range game. No, he's definitely the X factor for Iowa State this season offensively. Who's the guy for Iowa? Outside of Sturts, of course.
Yeah, I mean, like we said yesterday, that team goes as Bennett Sturts goes.
Yep.
If Sturts is able to play at his pace, and I mean, it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's very true with him. When he is able to play calm and slow the game down, let the game kind of come to him in a way, that's when Bennett Sturts teams, I want to say Iowa, but again, we saw it with Drake last year too. That's when Bennett Sturts teams perform best, when he's able to slow things down and kind of play at his pace. If it's not Bennett Sturts, who is it? Who do the Hawkeyes have to have a big game from tonight? Or tomorrow night, rather, because tonight, again, it's the women.
Is it?
Boy.
I think it'd be. Is it Koch? He comes out there,
Dude.
hits a couple of threes.
You have 5 guys that are in that 6 to 10 point range. Actually, you have 6 guys that are in that 6 to 10 point range per night. Bennett Sturts is your leading scorer by twice. He averages 18.8 points per game. Cooper's next at 8.8. Then it's Tavion Banks at 8.6. Fulgaris at 8.3.
Fulgaris always comes in and hits like 3 threes.
And
then is done.
He might be a guy that if I was going, he's got to come off the bench and play well, provide some minutes. I don't know, Justin. I don't know who I would go with on that. Everybody. Who has to have a good game for them to compete with Iowa State tomorrow night? All 5 of those guys that we just mentioned. And you've got to get nearly 20 from Bennett Sturts. He's going to have one of his best games in order for them to compete with Iowa State.
Man, I knew Sturts was the leading scorer. And it was the same way at Drake a year ago, where it was him and then a huge drop from everyone else scoring. I swore someone else was averaging double digits. Yeah. It kind of blows me away that it's 18.8 and then 8.8, 8.6.
And all of them are playing, none of them play as many minutes, I guess, as
Sturts is out there basically for the whole game.
He's averaging 37.8 minutes per game in the 40-minute game. Averaging 37.8.
He's played under 36 minutes once.
Which game was that?
Chicago State.
Okay.
And he still played 33 minutes.
Well,
sorry, it was SEMO. He played 33. Okay. Sorry.
We'll spend a lot more time tomorrow talking about the men's game. The women's game tonight, that 6:00 matchup on ESPN. I mean, should be an absolute barn burner of a game. I hope it plays out that way. I hope we get to see an awesome performance from Audie Crooks tonight. I think that would be. She's already had kind of that coming out party. I think most people are aware of who Audie is and her story. Lights are going to be, a lot of eyeballs are going to be on tonight, and that would be great to see her have a performance like that. This is what made Caitlin Clark was that she delivered on the hype. That every time you turned on a game, Caitlin Clark did something that made you go, wow, that's why we turned on the TV. She hit a shot from the logo, or she hit 4 or 5 in a row, or whatever it was. Made a dynamic pass, and it was a constant thing. You didn't have to watch the game for more than 3 or 4 minutes to have a Caitlin Clark moment where you went, whoa, this is really cool and fun to watch. And I just hope that's what we get from Audie tonight. I hope that we get a performance where every couple of minutes you're like, damn, this is fun. This girl's really good, really talented.
Fans do have, nationwide fans have to be aware, though, it is 2 completely different styles. Clark being a guard, being able to hit from 48 feet out.
But don't you,
Crooks,
Justin, do you find Audie as, what's the word I'm looking for here? As interesting, or as, when I watched Iowa women's basketball with Caitlin Clark, your eye was drawn to her.
Yep.
You watched her without the ball.
Yep.
And I notice I do the same thing with Audie Crooks and the Iowa State team. I'm watched because I know the offense is eventually going to kind of go through her. So you've kind of got one eye on her the entire time down the court. Now, again, she's going to be under the basket. She's not going to be shooting from the logo. She's not going to be dribbling past people and making behind the back passes and that stuff. But when she gets the ball, she's going to go to work.
Dominance.
She might end up with 40 points tonight.
Dominance brings attention. Dominance brings attention. Where it doesn't matter if you're a guard hitting these logo threes or a post player putting up an average of 28 points a game. Your eye is going to be drawn to that dominance. And yes, absolutely. It's just more, Audie has that style of game where I'm watching it and it comes off so easy for her, where 8 minutes go by, a quarter ends. And you're like, damn, she has 18 already?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to call it a quiet scoring because she is so good where you know when she's scoring. But just
it's bounce
the rate
pass into the lane, back to the basket, spin move,
goes
off
to work.
the glass and in.
Yep.
With Caitlin, it's come down. It's a little bit more flash. It's a dribble behind the back to get around a pressing guard, shoot from 73 feet.
Yeah. Is it just going to be like the Iowa State game-winning field goal where we're just going to extend her 3-point shot? It was from 250 feet.
She shot it from the 7th row.
No, I think that's
Iowa State with their last minute 107-yard field goal. And if you go back, Justin, we've all talked about that being a lot. Do you know that field goal happened with like a minute 50 to play? Iowa not only had a 3-and-out after that field goal, there was so much time on the clock, Iowa State had to take 2 knees. Doesn't it feel like it was a last-second field goal, though?
Yeah, it felt like there were 17 seconds left.
No, it was like a minute 50.
And Iowa had 1 pass.
Iowa had a 3-and-out and then or 4-and-out, and Iowa State had so much time on the clock they had to take 2 knees. It's weird how your brain does that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 6:00 tonight, ESPN is the tip-off. Should be a really fun game. I don't see anything, Justin, of like a line on this game. I have no idea what Vegas is thinking about it. But again, in the Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Modelo, you've got a 50-50 matchup on the matchup predictor for ESPN. So whichever high school kid comes up with that, love it. Love it. Sign me up. This should be a fun game tonight. We'll spend a lot of time tomorrow. I reached out to Travis Hines, see if Travis can maybe join us tomorrow, not only just to catch up, maybe get a recap of tonight, maybe get a preview of tomorrow night, but just talk to one of our Cyclone insiders about all the insanity that's happened in the last 24 hours. Any more? Did you see any more Matt Campbell fallout? I saw a lot of stuff from Penn State. Did you see him bending the bill?
Yeah. That's there if you want to see it, I guess. Every team does it. Like the Seahawks have done dumb things. I'm like, why would you post that? Every team does it. But man, when it's not your team, it's so fun to make fun of. It's so fun. Cuz it's just like
Justin,
it's dead quiet.
How don't people zoom out a little bit and see that and realize like, oh, I fell for it too. I mean, what they're doing, like they set a hat in a locker. They got a television crew. They got a camera crew. It's scripted. Hey, coach, you're gonna walk in. You're gonna grab this hat. You're gonna look at it. You're gonna bend the bill. You're gonna put it on. You're gonna look right down barrel, and you're gonna say, "We are ready." All right, let's do it again. I didn't feel
Shake
it.
off the nerves. That was first cut.
Come on. It's okay. First time, first cut. Yep. Third cut's usually the best, so let's just throw one away.
Like it would have been better if you put the hat up there during the press conference.
And he would just naturally have reached down and grabbed it and done it. It would have been way better than, all right, coach, here's the deal. We got this locker room set up. We got to get everybody out of it. Lighting is just right.
I just
love to go in there,
to
put the hat on, bend the bill, and then we know it's time to go to work. I don't.
It's
how
so
do
quiet
how do
in
you
the
not
locker
see
room.
that and then go? Yeah. How do you not see that and instead of going, oh no, he's putting on another hat, go, oh, it was always an act. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always been a show. It's always been a show, and I just need to remove my emotion from it a little bit here because it's just Breaking Bad. It's not real. He's not really Walter White. He's not really Malcolm's dad. It's just a role he's playing.
No,
and I need to remove myself from the role of being fan, because that's what I'm playing, the role of fan when I watch it and I go, damn it, that used to be a Cyclone hat.
One of the best ones that actually features a team I'm a fan of, Ohio State. Do you remember what they did for when Ryan Day was announced as the head coach?
Help me out. It's in my brain somewhere.
So dumb. It's one of the worst ones. So funny though. And now the memes that have come from it are great. Is you have Urban Meyer sitting there playing NCAA like a video game.
I don't remember this.
In which, like, just that image is funny because you're like, yeah, Urban Meyer's playing NCAA 14 on the Xbox.
Nick Saban?
Yep. Yeah. And so he's playing, and Ryan Day sits down, and Urban Meyer, super awkward, is just like, all right, now it's your turn, and hands him the controller. And then Ryan Day sits down and starts playing. And now, as we just saw from a week ago, you have Ohio State missing these field goals. So now there's so many videos of him handing over the controller and clips of like him shanking field goals. It's so bad. It's so dumb. Every team does it.
Dude, Justin, how are these coaches? Like, when you said that, it reminded me of the Lane Kiffin, hey, Owl Nation. How are these coaches that are obviously very charismatic? They obviously, you don't get to that level. You don't convince 5-star recruits to come spend their most important 4 years with you. You don't win the living room unless you have something dynamic about you. You get in a room, any of us have been around these coaches. You feel it. You feel it. You go, man, there is something pretty cool about the presence of this person. How do they then get this stuff so bad? How are they so bad? Like, even the Matt Campbell thing with the hat yesterday, if that doesn't feel plastic to you, that's the only thing I can see. I watch it and I went, oh, they're dragging him into this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they're dragging him kicking and screaming into this stuff. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe what we feel there, Justin, is Urban Meyer saying to himself, this is dumb.
This sucks. I'm going to go be on Big Noon.
I've never played a video game in my life, and I got to sit here and pretend like I'm doing something I would never, ever do so that some kid gets clicks on social media or something. I don't understand it. I'm here to win football games. No,
you don't see Nick Saban doing it. You never saw him do it.
I mean, even you don't see Kirk Ferentz do that stuff. Do you? Do we see Kirk Ferentz do PR stuff like that? Media relations stuff like that?
No.
Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there has been in the past.
Like,
I've never seen him do the Brian Kelly stand on the podium while the camera spins around and dance with his recruit. I've never seen him do the Jim Harbaugh spend the night at a recruit's house.
It's the best one of this like awkward media relation kind of promotion video. It's the best one, the Russell Wilson Broncos country. Let's ride.
No, it wasn't. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Where they show him.
Yeah, he would just end his press conferences every time with "Let's ride."
Well, so like video, they have him like on the green screen, and they're having him just repeat it. Broncos country. Let's ride. Broncos country. Let's ride. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I've had to do that before in my world of making radio commercials. There were times when it would be like, you know, Ross, the Iowa Lottery wants this, so you got to read it like 5 times. You have to put emphasis on different parts of the sentences because we don't know what's going to sound best or what. They just gave us this script, and so that there is a weird part of that where you're in there like, you know. Let me try to do one for you. It's the gift that keeps on winning promotion. Say no to basic gift giving. Give the gift that keeps on winning this holiday season. Holiday Scratch and Instaplay tickets from the Iowa Lottery. New Holiday Scratch tickets for the season are Holiday Gold, Holiday Bright, Merry and Bright, Holiday 10X, Merry Money, Peppermint Crossword, Chillin' with the Nomies, and don't forget your Instaplay tickets, Elf and Reindeer Riches. See, I just read it to you. That's not a commercial. It's got to have a lot more bounce to it, right?
Yeah.
These holiday tickets make great stocking stuffers, and you could win instant prizes ranging from $500 to $250,000. And get entered before 10 a.m. Oh, we missed that deadline for your chance to win the $10,000. But keep entering. There's going to be a second shot at the $10,000 before January 7th. And you can check all of that out at ialottery.com/VIP for all the details. Remember, free to sign up as a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Justin, we went a little long there. Sorry about that to all of our sponsors that are waiting for their commercials.
I mean, wasn't that our rundown, basically?
No.
Women's basketball, Breaking Bad, and annoying
Sons
coaching.
of Anarchy. Yeah,
we got into Anarchy.
We got into the Sons of Anarchy, cross all of it off. I sent Justin about 20 stories yesterday that I wanted to talk about. This Utah thing is very interesting. We talked about how the NASCAR lawsuit might be one of the biggest lawsuits in sports. This Utah story might have just surpassed it as the heaviest sports story of the last couple of weeks. Maybe with the most impact is what I'm trying to say there. When we get back, we'll get you up to speed on what you need to know on both of those things here on The Rush on therushradio.com.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Get ready, Des Moines. College basketball is heating up at Casey Center. On December 20th, the Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Bucknell Bison in a non-conference showdown you won't want to miss. Presented by Casey's. Feel the action. Hear the roar. Be there as the new-look Hawkeyes bring the intensity to the capital city. Tickets are going fast. Grab yours now at HighVTix.com and be part of the excitement on December 20th. Iowa versus Bucknell, presented by Casey's. December 20th, only at Casey Center. Be there.
My name's Gary Prosnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage, and that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Brennan Santone here at Willis Cadillac, wanting to wish you a happy holiday. Over here at the Clive store, we have great incentives on all kinds of different vehicles. There are quite a few that are over the 6,000 pound mark for all you business owners, as well as 2.9% financing up to 60 months on several models. Great lease deals, and like I said, good selection on quite a few different models. Stop over and see us at the Clive location, or online at williscadillac.com.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Here's your winter wildlife warning. Make sure to watch for footprints on your roof or in the snow. Tracks from raccoons, squirrels, and other critters can signal a problem early before it becomes an expensive mess. Get a hold of our friends at Bats and Bugs. When you tell them you are a Rush listener, you'll get 10% off your pest or wildlife service. Great way to save before the pests settle in. So call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today. Protect your home, save some money, and keep the critters where they belong. And that, of course, is outside. Travis hates that photo because he says he's still fat in it. In fact, what he said, I'm going to put it back up there. What he said, Justin, was, I don't like that photo because we are fat in it.
Wow. He's dragging you down, too.
So what?
I think you boys look good.
We are fat in
it? I think you guys look great.
Oh, dude, I got a belly on me right now, though. I gotta get control. Oh, dude, I'm not kidding. I get skinny fat. You know what I mean? You know what skinny fat is? You ever deal with skinny fat?
I mean,
I just get this belly, dude. I just get like a belly. It looks like I'm pregnant. I look like I'm about 6 weeks from birth.
From popping?
Yeah. People come up to me every now and again and they rub my belly and they go, oh, you have a soccer player. Audrey comes up and like, dude, Tyson spent the weekend with me, right? And Tyson was in the military and he's a good-looking dude and tough dude. And I'm standing in my living room. He looks over at me and he goes, damn. When'd you get that belly? Audrey came over and started playing it like a drum. Audrey's like, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom. And then that's when it like sinks in. You look down, you're like, oh, Jesus. I'm gross. When did you talk to John Walters? Did you already record that for today?
Yeah. Yep. So it's out already. People can go check it out.
I thought you were putting it out today.
It's out. Like it goes out on Wednesday mornings.
Oh, you already put it out.
Yeah.
Look at you. Holy cow. Kicking butt.
Yeah.
Anything fascinating that John brought to the table? Why should people listen to the Media Row podcast today, Justin Miller?
Well, first, you can check it out wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. But one of the first things we talk about is where does last weekend stack up in most chaotic in his career?
Oh, my God.
With both just him working in TV
let me take some guesses on that, okay? Because, I mean, that's a great question, Justin. And John's a wonderful guy to talk about that because he's been involved for so many decades up there through unbelievable changes. Like, man, I'm not even sure, Justin, a guy your age can understand what this athletic program was like in the 80s. It was a doormat of sorts in the Big Eight. Facilities wise, they were nowhere near what the other institutions that they were supposed to be competing with were doing. That's why when you talk to people inside of the Iowa State program, that's why they have such reverence for Dan McCarney. It's not bowl games. It's not winning percentage. It's none of that. It is nobody wanted to be here, and this guy came here and injected life into an Iowa State athletic department. And again, anybody that's ever seen Dan McCarney knows he is a dude that carries that energy, and it's infectious. And you're with him for 30 seconds, and you've got this thing going through your blood. Like, yeah, this is life. I feel it. Dan McCarney, without Dan McCarney, and maybe even Johnny Orr deserves a lot of that credit too, because while the football team was really, really struggling to keep up with the Joneses, Johnny Orr left Michigan to come to Iowa State, had a really good basketball team, kind of kept that athletic department at the forefront of people's minds. But again, I had a conversation with my buddy Ryan Grove, who's one of the biggest Iowa State fans I know. And I was asking him, I was trying to get his feel for Jamie Pollard, because I've seen a lot of stuff online this last week about how people are really pissed at Jamie Pollard for different things. And I wanted to kind of get my finger on that pulse a little bit and see what is an Iowa State fan feeling about Jamie Pollard. And if you guys want, join in 515-517-2303. I'd love to have you. I'd love to get your take on this as well. And Ryan said, if I'm making a Mount Rushmore for Iowa State athletics, the very first name on that list is Jamie Pollard. The very first face on that mountain is Jamie Pollard. And I think that's, Justin, you go back and look at what Jamie Pollard took over and what he's going to hand off in the next 5 to 10 years, whenever he decides that this run is over. That's the definition of leaving something in a better place than you found it. Okay, you can knock him for the Sci-Town thing. You can think that, he's just trying to build a legacy up there for doing that. I love when the Coldwater commercials run, because when I'm golfing at Coldwater and you get onto that the west side of the road, and you're right there along the campgrounds for Jack Trice. You're looking right at the bridge, right at Jack Trice. Hilton Coliseum is off to the north. You see it. You go, there needs to be something right there. That would be that, like, you can see what Jamie Pollard, what his vision is for what that campus is going to look like. He would be a great guy to talk to about the tumultuous nature of the weekends, right? Because my gut says that John Walters would tell you this one's right up there. The other one had to be when Oklahoma and Texas left the Big 12, because that was a really, really weird time, man. It felt like everything, maybe even like this week, man. You can do the math, and it feels like it's a dire situation.
He mentioned how, so this past weekend, it was more just like that end of an era feeling. Where you're like, man, that sucks. Like a sadness with the Oklahoma and Texas leaving situation a couple of years ago. And was there going to be a Big 12? That one was more anxious, where you're starting to get nervous. You have that anxiety feeling. So that was the other one he brought up. He brought up a couple. One that stuck out was, so I guess when Greg McDermott left Iowa State, Fred Hoiberg hops in like the next day. And he said that was one of the busiest 48 hours he had been a part of.
That makes sense. And again, totally different feeling there. Because bringing in Fred was another one of those things of like, oh my God, this could happen.
Yeah.
We could have a great basketball team.
So he said something, and I was like wanting to ask him, but then conversation got,
like they do,
where we move on, and I didn't want to waste time because, again, I texted him like, hey, would you be able to hop on the show to preview Cy-Hawk Week before anything had like exploded? And then I see all this storm, like, oh man. And he had texted me and was like, hey, this time doesn't work, and like made it work out. So that meant the world.
John's the best.
But he brought up when he was talking about the Hoiberg hire that he said, yeah, and then I hopped on and broke the news on KXNO, that famous exchange, and kind of smirked. Was he on air when the F-bombs went down? Oh, no. Okay.
No.
I didn't
I'd
know
have
if he
to-
was a guest that day.
No, what he's talking about there was an exchange with a former host at KXNO. I don't know if you remember the name Matt Peralt at all. You remember
Kind
Matt?
of.
He and
Kind
Trav
of.
did a show I think they did a show in Omaha for a long time. So he was like Travis's partner. And then they brought Travis in to do the morning show. And then the F-bombs thing happened. And oh man, now my brain's getting confused on the timing of all this. Because I feel like what happened was then they fired Marty and they had to get Ken a co-host. And so they did one of their nationwide searches, right? That usually yielded somebody who'd just been fired from KIOA. But they did a nationwide search. And they brought in Matt Peralt, who I'd never heard of Matt at all. And then I remember talking to Travis one day and he was like, he's really good. He's in that Marty vein of like, he doesn't give a shit about what people think about him. He'll say whatever's on his brain. And if I remember the exchange correctly, I'd have to ask John more about it if he would even want to rehash
I know.
it. If
I wanted to ask him.
John
and then
basically said,
didn't
hey,
want to
we're
waste of time.
going to announce that Fred Hoiberg is the new coach. And Peralt was like, horrible hire. Horrible hire. This is going to be a disaster. Maybe I'm misremembering what the contentious nature of it was, but it was like out of the blue. I mean, John literally came on to be like, hey guys, just, making the announcement, Fred Hoiberg's going to be the head coach. And all of a sudden he's in this position of like, defend it. That's a horrible hire. I can't believe it. And again, that was just Matt. Matt was just that kind of broadcaster. He wanted to get to the point. He was very entertaining. He was very good at his job. I think he moved to Vegas and did sports radio in Vegas for a while. But that's what John was talking about there. Was when he came on just to say, yeah, he was just doing like a Tuesday hit. And if I remember, it was even a situation where like Williams was filling in for Ken or something like that. Like it wasn't even the normal rotation. And so I think Chris was even put in an odd situation there where he was like, kind of had to sit back and sit on his hands for a minute and just let the energy die off in the room for a bit. That's what John is talking about there. So that would have been, okay. I kind of forgot about the personal part of that weekend. That absolutely jumps into that because then again, John was put in a position he didn't think he was going to be put into. Mm-hmm. He kind of had to defend some things. And, John's a very calculated guy. He doesn't want to come on and just spout things off. He wants to have his ducks in a row. And I think Matt was pushing on him in ways that he didn't really care for.
Yeah.
And I remember that interaction being kind of contentious.
That's funny. Because, he said it and he was like, yeah, and then that famous exchange. And then he kept talking. I was like, oh, I don't want to waste this guy's time. Yeah. So I don't want to. I have like 8 other questions I'd rather talk about. And then I knew I was going to be on with you. And I was like, was he on the day of the F-bombs?
No, the F-bomb thing's a whole different deal. Sipker keeps saying he wants to do like a documentary about that. About Marty in general, which would be amazing.
That would be, I'd watch.
It'd be amazing. It'd be something. Have you watched the Diddy thing at all?
No, but
dude,
I know a lot of people that have. In the stories, it sounds like I need to.
I haven't been able to get through the entire thing yet. I've seen a lot of stuff online like you have, but 50 Cent's just like one of my favorite people right now.
Honestly, have you seen his interviews like on CBS this morning where they ask him about where did you get this footage? Because that's the whole.
Got so Puffy was filming everything right up until he went to jail. I mean, like filming everything right up until he went to jail. And 50 Cent got all of that footage. And one of the stories is that basically P. Diddy couldn't pay the videographer. They got to the end of it and he's like, hey, I'm going to jail. I got no cash to pay you. So 50 Cent stepped up and said, hey, I got money for that. I got money for all that footage if you want it.
They ask him though on CBS like, hey, where did you get this footage? And he keeps going like, oh, I don't think it's in my journalistic integrity to tell you. I'm like, I love it. I love it. It reminds me of like how when the guys who created South Park when they did the Oscars and the dresses, and they're like, don't mention anything. If they ask about it, just say it's a magical night. It's not in my journalistic integrity. I love it.
I did see one thing where he basically said to a reporter, "Do you give up your sources?" Well, no. Me neither.
Yep. No, I know a lot of people that have watched it, and they all say the same thing of like, it's crazy. Must watch. I'm like, all right. It's tough for me the way you are with like TV dramas where you're like, I have so many other things I'd rather watch. If a documentary is like 5 episodes, I'm like, you're losing.
That's why
me.
it's taken me a while too, dude. I turned it on, I fall asleep. I try to, it's like it's the end of the night, the games are over or whatever. It's 9 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch Pete, and I turn it on, and 5 minutes later, I'm falling asleep. So then I'm, trying to get through a 45-minute episode at 5 minutes a clip is really difficult.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them like that. So anyway, I don't know what made me divert there, but that is something to do with your time.
We were talking about how Sipker wants to make a documentary about Terrell, and that just brought up.
Sipker wants to do a documentary on Marty, and he also wants to do a mockumentary that I think is one of my favorite conversations I've ever had. And I've had some fun ones with Sipker over the years, but Sipker wants to do a mockumentary about being a local celebrity. He has such great ideas for this thing because it is funny. It's a funny thing to be like when you walk up to an event. This is my favorite, and somebody is like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're here. Everybody is so excited that you are here today. Can you wear this name tag so people know who you are?" It's awesome. It's so fun to be on the other side of it and go, yeah. Justin, we were talking the other day at lunch about, we got some phone calls coming in. Matt, I'll get to you here in just a second. We were talking the other day about that local celebrity thing the other day because me and Bruno and Mindy Toyne and Steffi Gifford and Courtney all had lunch together. And somebody was like, "Oh yeah, we're here with Bruno, the local celebrity," and Bruno is very much like local. Local celebrity. And then somebody said, "Have you guys ever had that go wrong? You have people, I've had that happen a lot where you walk into a room and somebody will go, 'Oh, dude, Ross, let me introduce you to Larry. He's a huge fan.'" And this guy is like, "Who are you?" You're like, "Oh, I'm Ross from KXNO." And the guy's like, "Never heard of you? Never heard of KXNO? Never." And you go, "That's cool. That's
yeah,
right."
yeah.
But then your friend's like, no, you know him. It's like when your buddy's like, "Oh, you'll love 38 Special." And you're like, "I don't really know any 38 Special songs." "Oh, you know tons of, you don't like cats, but you're going to love my cat." Right? It's that thing of like, "Oh, you know him. And you just, as the guy, you want to be like, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
He doesn't know me, and I'm good, and that's okay. And just
you're
let
making it worse."
You're making it way worse. Did I ever tell you about when I was on jury duty?
No.
Oh,
no.
Justin. So we're going through the voir dire process. And Matt, I'm sorry, I'll get to you in a minute here. This is a quick story. We're going through the voir dire process, which is where as the jury pool, you're being asked questions. Okay, and there's like 60 people in this courtroom. And the one attorney is like a young guy. He's 25-year-old kid, just out of law school. Very good attorney, obviously. And he's standing up and he's like, "Does anybody in the room know anybody else? We're going to go through the list of witnesses. If you know any of these names, please say so. Or if you're familiar with any of these names." He kind of he's like, nobody here is familiar with anybody else in the room, right? There's nobody else. And then out of the blue, he looks right at me and he goes, "All right, Ross, I got to make this uncomfortable for you." He goes, we actually have a local celebrity here in the room, in the jury pool." He's like, "Has anybody in the room ever heard of Ross Peterson from KXNO?" Justin, not a single hand went up. And I'm sitting there looking at this dude like, move on, man. Move
You're
on.
like, you know what? I want to be on this jury just so I can make sure I have a hand in you failing.
I didn't get picked for the jury. Imagine that. That's been part of one of the funny things that happened during the Jordan NASCAR trial was the voir dire process as they're picking the jury. there were some hilarious things. Like people don't know. It's people will tell you, oh, it's so easy to get out of jury. It's so easy. Just tell them you've got X happening, and they'll tell you can leave right away. That ain't the way it works, ever. I promise you. It never, ever, it's not as easy as some guy like, oh, tell them you're in the media. When I worked at the radio station, it was that way. Like, oh, just go in and tell them you work in the media. They can't put you on the jury. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. One guy tried to stand up and say, hey, I can't be on this jury. I have sod being delivered to a property next week. What's that?
What?
You're on a jury selection for a federal trial, but you've got what? He's like, yeah, I got sod being delivered. Got to lay that sod. And to one lady, they were like, do you have any preconceived notions about Denny Hamlin? And she goes, yeah, I don't like him. And they're like, do you think you could set those feelings aside and be an impartial juror? And she said, no. 515-517-2303. Let's end the hour chatting with Matt. Maybe he'll give us some fun stuff to kick off that 7 o'clock hour. Matt, thanks for calling into the Rush. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. Nice talking to you guys. I have a question for you guys.
Fire away.
So, the rumor was that Nebraska or Penn State was going for Matt Rule first, before they got Matt Campbell. So this is kind of my question for you guys. In the next 5 years, who do you think has a better season, Nebraska or Penn State?
Penn State.
You were quick with it.
They have a couple, and I'll tell you what goes through my brain there, Matt, for why I say Penn State so quickly. Number one, I'm just not a believer in Nebraska. They had their chance this year. The schedule was in their favor. You had Matt Rule now coming up on year 3, year 4 now. This was the year that they were supposed to be able to make some movements and make some noise, and they weren't able to do it. Penn State is loaded with talent. Matt Campbell has shown that he's got a real eye for talent, and he had a hard time, I think, at sometimes bringing all of that talent into Ames, Iowa. I think it'll be a little bit easier for him to bring some of that talent to Happy Valley. They should have it seems, again, on the surface, if you listen to Matt Campbell's press conference, they've got a much more organized approach to the NIL world that they're in. We all know that Penn State is swimming in riches there, so I think I would put my money on Penn State there. Nebraska's got a lot of money too. What Nebraska hasn't been able to do over the last couple of years is figure it out. They haven't been able to figure out that chemistry thing inside the locker room, that motivation thing to get everybody moving the same direction, that ability to win close games. They're still finding ways to lose games, and that's a culture thing. I don't think they have that at Penn State. They had a rough year. They lost games they weren't supposed to lose. You still got some dogs in that roster that can make that team really good. And now I think you've got a coach over there who's got an incredible eye for that next level talent. So I'd say if you give me a 3 to 5 year window, I'll take Matt Campbell and Penn State over Matt Rule and Nebraska.
I was much slower with it. I'm going to take Penn State, but I'm still hung up on, let's just wait and see, because the fit, I still have this gut reaction of, man, I just don't know if the fit's right. And I know a lot of people like Kirk Herbstreit, who I admire, he's like, yeah, absolutely, great fit. Pat McAfee loves the fit. But I sit there and I'm like, something just seems a little like...
Let me sell you a little bit on the fit thing. And this is something I could be very, 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 very wrong on, okay?
Okay.
Matt Campbell spent 10 years at Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Penn State fans still remember a 40-year tenure from Joe Paterno. I think what you're going to have here is a marriage of a guy that and this sounds so strange saying, oh, he's committed.
No, he is.
But he's a guy that once he wants to plant some root, he wants to grow some roots in a place. I don't think Matt Campbell is a guy that's going to be looking for a job in the next 3 to 5 years. Unless he falls flat on his face and doesn't live up to any of the expectation, he's probably going to be there for a long enough time to build what he wants to build. So I think when people like Pat McAfee and Kirk Herbstreit are talking about, man, this is a good fit, what they're saying there is more of these are two different entities that want to be a part of it for the long haul. Now, with Penn State, we could be wrong. I mean, dude, again, since Paterno, this is their fourth coach since Paterno, I think. They've had a few interim coaches in there. They've had a few people that didn't live up to the hype. They had a few people that didn't commit themselves to Iowa State, or to Penn State, rather. I think that's what Herb Street and McAfee are talking about is you've got a guy now that wants to spend a lot of time there. You've got an organization that wants to have a guy that builds some tenure, but the expectations are high right away.
And like we've talked about, that schedule, his first year, very, very easy in terms of Big Ten.
In terms of being Penn State.
In terms of being big.
Matt, thanks for the phone call, man. Hope that helped you out a little bit.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care, buddy. Have a great Wednesday. 515-517-2303 is the phone number. When Justin and I get back in the 7 o'clock hour, maybe then we can get to this Utah story. I want to talk about the Utah thing. Maybe we can get up the NASCAR story. That can be our last thing. There's not a lot to get up to speed on. It's just been an interesting thing to watch unfold. Jordan was on the stand last week. Monday was kind of boring. We'll see what Tuesday looked like, but we'll get to this Utah story and just some of the other weird stuff happening around the world as we roll along. Justin Miller is with us here on The Rush on therushradio.com.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with the chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 80.
This time of year, the roads we travel mean more than ever. They bring us closer to family, to friends, to moments that truly matter. At Willis Chevrolet, we're grateful for every journey you've taken with us. Thank you for trusting us to help you get there. Your loyalty, your stories, your smile, that's what drives us every day to do the best job possible. For the month of December, mention to your service advisor, Adam or Randall, that you've seen this ad, and you can get $20 off any service of your choice. Happy holidays from Willis Chevrolet. Here's to safe travels, warm memories, and the road ahead.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn benefits the entire state. It feeds livestock, nourishes our families, and provides homegrown, clean-burning, unleaded 88 for our vehicles. So pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org to learn more. 515-517-2303. That is the phone number to join us here on The Rush, therushradio.com. Justin Miller filling in for Travis Justice. Final 2 days, today and tomorrow. We think Travis will be back with us on Friday. Hoping that's the case. Thursday night, obviously, we've got a big matchup with Iowa and Iowa State men, but tonight it is a top 11 matchup. Number 10. Justin, you're muted.
Is it a top 12? I thought Iowa was 12th. Or are they 11?
I thought that it was 10 and 11. Am I crazy? Hold on here. I am seeing AP, Iowa State 10, Iowa 11. So fake news Justin Miller. Fake news Justin Miller, as we refer to him here on the show. Wrong again. As he usually is.
I'll just leave.
I can just leave now if you guys want.
I can just log off.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't. I am trying to find, though, Justin, what is that? Because I see 10 and 11. I wrote down 10 and 11. And so now I just want to go and see what the...
I was going to look up the line,
That is. So you were looking at the coaches poll, as you are wont to do. And the AP, it is 10 and 11. Iowa State 10, Iowa 11. Iowa moved up one slot, so maybe that's what you're thinking. Last week they were 10 and 12. In the coaches poll, they are still 10 and 12. Iowa State still 10, and North Carolina separates them in the 11th spot with or Iowa 12, Iowa State number 10, if I said that wrong. North Carolina has 2 losses on the season. What the hell are they doing in the top 11?
Have you ever seen the stand-up comedian where he's talking about how, like, basketball season, it's always weird? Like, if you wake up from the middle of a nap and you see the women's score, and you'll be like, North Carolina lost by 40? Oh, women's basketball.
Again, I do that sometimes, Justin, with, like, I'll see a ranking. You know what I mean? In fact, I think I did it with Iowa and Iowa State, and I was like, Iowa's 11th?
Wow, they really shot up.
Iowa State's still at 10? They're a top 5 team. It takes my brain a beat to figure it out. Sometimes that's the way it is with stuff. It takes your brain a second to catch up. That's what happens when you're a dummy. This is the life of a moron.
Same.
It is, brother. Did you at all get into the story that I sent you yesterday? The story that kind of broke yesterday about Utah.
Yes.
And what is happening with the University of Utah and their athletic department? It's a fascinating new development. And as far as I know, this has not been signed. It's just very close to being signed. The details of this are starting to leak out. It does sound like the University of Utah going to sign a landmark private equity deal that will pump about $500 million of cash into the Utah Athletic Department. And in exchange, this group called Otro Capital, Otro, It's a New York-based sports private equity firm. Details are kind of coming out, Justin, about what this is going to look like, okay? What this means for the future, what this means for the money of the Utah Athletic Department. This Otro Capital Group will not own 100% of the University of Utah Athletic Department. They won't own 100% of it. But it's not real clear exactly what this will look like in a couple of years. So let's start with what we do know. So Otro Capital will inject $500 million into the university's athletic department. In turn, the athletic department will create an offshoot brand. It's called Utah Brands and Entertainment, LLC. Again, Otro Capital is not the sole proprietor or owner of Utah Brands and Entertainment, LLC. It is a first-of-its-kind partnership between a university athletic department and an equity partner. I'm reading now from the Yahoo Sports article. It says an executive team from Otro Capital combined with athletics department personnel will lead the creation and operation of a new company which will live within the university's foundation. I'll skip down a little bit here. The new company's primary goal is to generate more revenue across an assortment of areas, including ticketing, concessions, corporate sales, and sponsorship. Charged with overseeing and operating the revenue share pay system for Utah athletes, the new entity provides the department with more flexibility and freedom, considering it will operate separate from a public university. So again, they're taking the public university athletic department and turning it into a private equity. That Otro Capital will not. I want to make sure I'm going to screw something up here because there was one really fascinating part of this I want to get to. The project includes a fascinating wrinkle. The university is offering a prominent group of donors the ability to purchase a stake in Utah Brands and Entertainment. Already, university officials have culled a small donor base to generate millions to purchase agreements. The more than $500 million capital figure includes both the 9-figure cash infusion from Otro as well as those capital commitments from donors. So again, a handful of already existing Utah donors have been brought into the fold. And they also will be part owners of this Utah Brands and Entertainment, LLC. So it's not just private equity capital that's going to now own the Utah Athletic Department. It's also a handful of selected donors. So, Justin, for a long time, we've always said this stuff around college sports, like, well, when does Kirk Ferentz get fired? When the donors get pissed.
Mm-hmm.
When does Tom Brands when the donors get pissed? When does this? When the donors finally act. The donors are the ones that run the program. We've all thought that for a long time. In a way, they kind of own it.
Yeah,
they got all the money. When you pay, you get a say. Utah is now basically showing their cards. They're pulling the curtain back a little bit. And they're saying, yep, you're right. It's donors that own this thing. The money is how we operate, and whoever pays us is the one that gets a say. And now we're going to create an even more exclusive group that actually get to pay and get a say, and then we're going to shut the door behind us to make sure that nobody else gets into the room. It's like a country club. It's like the Sioux Cup Center. You know what I mean? You got to pay to get into these exclusive groups. And then once you've paid to get into the exclusive group, shut the door behind you quickly so the riffraff doesn't get in.
So when reading that article, they mentioned something about the Big Ten. The Big Ten was trying to do something similar, right? And that's when Michigan and USC stepped in and was like, no, we're not signing that. We're not giving the okay.
Yeah, with the California system. Yep. Same sort of deal. We're going to give you a ton of cash up front, and then what we want is some of your revenue long term. We need to get a return on that investment, but we'll bail you out of the current situation that you guys are all in. Justin, I think that when you see this stuff, it's right away the instant reaction is like, this is the death of college. This is the death of college football. You make this a private equity firm. You make these guys. I mean, my only pushback on that is, man, it's just a slight variation of the system we've got.
That's kind of how I was sitting too. Like you mentioned just moments ago of how we all know the donors control quite a bit. We've mentioned that time and time again. So now is it almost better that it's out in the open?
Above board? I mean, did you hear the Ed Orgeron podcast over the weekend where he was talking about the NIL
Paying
has just
players?
basically brought the money bag above the board.
His line was something of like, I would tell people, oh yeah, it's going to change because instead of bringing the money through the back door, we're just going to have to go through the front.
Exactly what he said. Yeah. It reminds me of the gambling conversation we've had. Travis was one of the first ones to say legalizing gambling will bring all this stuff above board, and that will help. Did it eliminate illegal gambling? No. No, it just made it easier to catch some of the people that were stupid about the way they were doing it. And that's what this NIL thing has done, is it's brought it all above board. Are there still guys doing stuff they shouldn't be doing? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fastest race car is the best cheater. Okay? And there are still guys that are doing it, but I love what Ed Orgeron said there. You're bringing the money man through the front door instead of the back door. Did you hear the thing about Adrian Peterson in that podcast, Justin?
No, because I just saw that one clip. I just saw the one clip.
He talked about trying to recruit Adrian Peterson to come to USC at the time.
Okay.
And he goes to Adrian Peterson, and he said in the podcast, he's like, I can talk about all this because Adrian's been an open book about it as well. His dad was incarcerated at the time. His dad was in federal prison. And Adrian Peterson said, hey, coach, here's the deal. I'm going to go to Oklahoma because that's the only team that my dad gets to see in prison. They show the Oklahoma football games inside the Oklahoma penitentiary, and I want my dad to be able to see me play. Ed Orgeron tried to get his dad transferred to a California prison. Yes.
I mean, it is Adrian Peterson we're talking about here.
I went to city officials. I went to the governor. I went to everybody I could and said, we got to get this guy transferred to California so that I can have his kid play football for USC.
It is Adrian Peterson.
Of course, it didn't work out for me, but,
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. It was a good interview. He dropped some pretty fun stuff, but that was the one I was like, damn, we really care about football. He tried to get a dude transferred to a different prison so that his son would basically be forced to play football in California so that his dad could watch him.
You and I are very similar in a lot of ways. This is where we differ a little.
Prison time?
You've been to prison?
No.
Sure? Jail?
Close.
Close.
515-517-2303.
But you hear that story and your mind goes, man, we care too much about football to get this guy out of prison or transferred prisons so his son can play football. My head went, it is Adrian Peterson.
I mean, he was really good.
Like,
did you see Adrian
Did you
Peterson?
watch him?
Did you watch him in Oklahoma?
Even when he tore his ACL the following year, that dude won an MVP.
Freak, dude. Absolute freak of nature. He was the one, I think, when we talked to Sage, because that was always one of my favorite questions for these dudes that were in professional locker rooms. Who was the biggest freak? You were in a world of the most dynamic professional athletes on the planet. Was there a guy that stood out? And I remember Sage going, yeah, Adrian Peterson. Totally different beast. Totally different animal. Justin, the Phillip Rivers thing, we mentioned it yesterday, and I thought he might get a sniff. They might interview him. He actually gets signed to the practice squad for the Colts.
You need time away from kids. I get it. I get it.
Dude, he's a grandpa. Over and over yesterday, that thing not only is he 44 years old, not only is he not thrown a pass in the NFL for a couple of years now.
Yeah, when was his last game?
I believe it was 2020. Check it
With
out
the
for
Colts?
me to check it out for me to verify that, but I think I saw that it was 2020. Justin, did you also, this is another fun one too for your brain, okay? There have been 4 quarterbacks over 44 years old that have taken a snap in the NFL. He would be, in fact, dude, if you just go back to 42, you can add a 5th one. 5 quarterbacks over the age of 42. If Phillip Rivers is able to get into the game and actually make the roster and take a snap, he would be the 6th quarterback over 42. He would be the 5th quarterback over 44. Tom Brady, the oldest quarterback to ever take a snap at 45 years, 5 months and 13 days. Go ahead.
I want to try to guess some of the others.
All right.
Peyton Manning?
No.
No, really?
Nope.
Brett Favre?
Brett Favre not on the list. Yeah. Now I'm curious. Now I'm gonna click on the comment section here because I want to see if people can get this.
Brady the easiest one.
Brady is number 1. Mike was right about that. Fake
Big
Bob
Ben?
Vanderplots just dropped one of the best ones.
Oh,
Vinny Testaverde.
Duh.
Vinny Testaverde was 44 years, 26 days when he took a snap in 2007 for the Panthers. I met a guy one time who was a trainer for the Baltimore Ravens. He was also a trainer for the Iowa softball team. And I had a friend, Carrie Knopf, who played for the Iowa softball team. And her sister, Jill, and I were good friends. We used to go up and hang out. And one night I got to meet this guy who was their trainer, and he was also the trainer for the Baltimore Ravens. I asked him the same question. Like, who's the biggest freak? It's Ray Lewis, right? Ray Lewis, the biggest freak? And he said, you're not going to believe me when I tell you. The craziest athlete I've ever been around in my life is Vinny Testaverde. It's like the guy's 44 years old, still out there doing it. He's crazy. Somebody mentioned Warren Moon. Warren Moon is on the list. Warren Moon was 44 years, 8
Former
days
Seahawk.
when he took a snap for the Chiefs back in 2000. Doug Flutie is the 42-year-old. So if you stretch it down to 42, you can put in the 5th member, and that's Doug Flutie. He was 42 years, 2 months, and 10 days. He took a snap for the Chargers back in 2004. And then the only one... what's that?
Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers? Is he on that list?
How old is Aaron Rodgers right now? He's not that old.
I thought he plays like he's that old.
Not Aaron Rodgers. The last one is one that nobody has come up with. I haven't seen it yet. Steve DeBerg.
No,
Steve
actually,
DeBerg.
one person did.
Did they really? Somebody said
Yes.
Steve DeBerg? Good
Oh
call
my God, we're
on
getting
that.
so
In my
many-
opinion,
here it is.
Testaverde and Steve DeBerg were the two. Good job, John.
Aaron
Those are the two
Rodgers is
toughest ones to come
42.
up with. He's 42?
Yep.
Okay, I just pulled up my CBSSports.com article. Has the 5 oldest quarterbacks to ever take a snap. 4 of them are 44. I'm sorry. Brady's 45. DeBerg, Testaverde, and Warren Moon were all in their 44th year. And Doug Flutie, 42 years, 2 months, 10 days. So maybe Aaron Rodgers will sneak his way into that list.
Oh, I
at
was
some
with Brett here with Joe Flacco, but Flacco is 40. So barely. Maybe in 2 more years when he decides to... I mean, he's already conquered the AFC North. So he's played for every team there, it feels like. What's the next division he goes to?
Rodgers would have to play next year in order to surpass Doug Flutie.
Okay.
Because Chris said he just turned 42, and I think Tyler said his birthday is actually today. And I do have the chat up right now, Tyler, but I'm missing some of it's all going way too fast for me, dude. I just thought Tyler said, I wish Ross saw the chat. He'd be geeking out on Uncle Rico and Stepsis. I would be. Guarantee you that. Berger's right. They would have won state if Uncle Rico would have just been put in the game. But such is the life, right? We all have a cross to bear.
So, do you have that list still pulled up?
Yes, I do.
How many modern day, like from 2000 to now, is there just Brady?
No, all of those guys played, except for DeBerg. DeBerg took his last snap in 98. Warren Moon took his last snap in the year 2000.
Okay. I didn't think Warren
Did
Moon
you ever watch
played it.
Conan O'Brien?
Yeah.
In the year 2000. And then Doug Flutie was 04, Testaverde was 07, and of course Brady took his last snap with the Buccaneers in 2022.
Okay. I guess it was a little more.
Listen, and that that's a fun game to play with your coworkers today because you will get a lot of names thrown at you.
I mean,
I had a lot of people when I sent it to my group the other day. It was like Fran Tarkenton. It's like, you know what? Now I'm curious. How old was Fran Tarkenton when he took his last snap? Because he a lot like Aaron. He looked like he was 70. People are like, oh, George Blanda. George Blanda had to play into his fort. No, those four dudes. Brady, DeBerg, Testaverde, and Moon. And then Doug Flutie was 42 years old. So Aaron Rodgers will sneak his way into there if he takes a snap next year. Does he?
I mean, it feels like for the last 2 years or 3 years, I've been like, this is his last year.
You put the gun to the dog's head, and then all of a sudden he bounces around a little bit. You go, okay, all right. All right, his tail's
he
wagging.
throws for 5 touchdowns against the Jets in week 1. You're like, all right.
All right, now Nick says George Blanda was 48 years old. Man, I swear, guys, I'm reading this from CBSSports.com. There are 4 quarterbacks 44 or older to start an NFL game. Maybe George Blanda didn't start in those last couple of years. I don't know. But it's Brady, Testaverde, Warren Moon, Steve DeBerg. Next Sunday, it will have been 1,800 days since Phillip Rivers last took a snap in an NFL game.
Yeah, it was 2020, that postseason with the Colts.
All right, and G-Bob, I don't know. I'm confused about the names, but he corrects it. Nick wrote in and said George Blanda was 48 years old. G-Bobbles says Blanda was strictly kicking at that point in time. So not quite the same.
That's a fun one, though. That's a fun trivia.
That's a fun one to
my
do.
head
I'm
was
telling you,
going
with-
so recent of like Big Ben. That dude had to have been like 80.
Even friends at the water cooler today. That's a good one. You're looking for a local full-service jeweler. You've got one right there in Ankeny, 1701 Southeast Delaware Avenue, Suite 250. That's where you will find our friends with Fiscus Jewelers. They've got custom designs, one-of-a-kind pieces that fit your budget. And if you're looking for engagement or bridal rings, they've got platinum, 18-karat, 14-karat, made right here in the USA, certified center stones. They can do repairs, sizing, stone setting, chain repairs, retipping, rhodium, all of it. You can need pearl restringing. They can even do that. Appraisals, you can get those in a few days. Cleaned, polished, fully documented replacement value. You can start that right now at fiscusjewelers.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Go see our friend Noel and his family for your Christmas jewelry gift-giving needs. Justin Miller, Ross Peterson hanging out with you here for about another half hour, taking your phone calls, 515-517-2303. This is The Rush, therushradio.com.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
House wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity, and I'm excited to announce with the holidays here, so are some exciting deals. Right now, this month, get a brand new 2026 QX60 for as low as 1.9% out to 60 months, or utilize the $5,000 in retail cash that they're offering. On top of that, this month, we're also doing 2.9 for 60 on the brand new 2026 QX80 and $7,000 in retail cash. For more information, stop by our showroom or visit us online at willisinfinity.com.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig, Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Hi, it's Marion with Willis. It's going to be that time of year where everyone's driving to see their families for the holidays, and in order to see your family, you have to see the road. And you can't see the road with old wiper blades. And right now, for the month of December, we're offering $10 off a set of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
What are you smiling at?
I love the chat.
Oh, what'd the chat do? I've
been just following along with the...
I don't like having to run things. Then I can't participate.
I've been just following along with how the chat's debating smash or pass with Martha Stewart. Smash. That's the right answer.
I mean, there's a lot of OR there, isn't there?
OR?
Operating room. There's a lot of enhancements that have happened there recently.
All I'm saying, smash, and then you imagine the meal afterwards. It's gonna be the best meal ever. And then hang out with Snoop Dogg. I'm sure he's coming over at some point in the day. Dude, it would be an awesome day.
You're in the middle of the act with her, and she's like, "What are you thinking about?" And you go, "That dinner." That dinner you about to make me?
Yeah.
Hanging out with Snoop on your front porch while you make dinner?
You could make... How long will the dinner take? And she'll be like, only like 5 minutes. All right, I only need 2. Come on, let's go. Let's roll.
Because Snoop Dogg, he's rolling up blunt rolled. I mean, it's not like there's any, you know what I mean? There's no prep work needed for Snoop. He's got guys, he pays guys to roll the joints for you.
Didn't they have a cooking show where it was baking with pot?
Yeah, Snoop did that for a while. Dude, they had, there was a show on with 2 Chainz. You know the rapper 2 Chainz?
Yeah.
He did like an entire series of shows of cooking with marijuana. Just blazed the entire time.
As you should be. You gotta make sure the food's good.
I want to. Now I'm gonna. I didn't plan on bringing this one up, so it's going to take me a second to find it. Dude, was it Quentin Jammer who the other day came out and admitted that they would play drunk? Oh, I think it was Quentin Jammer, dude. Do you remember him?
Quentin Jammer.
Yeah, he was a defensive back. He was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, can you look it up, Justin? Because I'm missing the article. Can you tell me?
ESPN ex cornerback Quentin Jammer says he played while drunk.
Dude, how? He played in the NFL.
Completely shit-faced drunk in at least 8 games, Jammer posted on X.
How is that possible? You're completely shit-faced drunk playing cornerback in the NFL? There's a part of me that thinks, man, how good would you have been without it?
Yeah, that's the first question.
But
Absolutely.
there's also this thing of like, just how? How did you even function out there in that way? It's kind of like when Mike Tyson would talk about, I used to get stoned right before I would fight. Be like, what? What? Right before I went out to have the most aggressive, barbaric battle for my life, I would do this drug that makes most people calm down and become pacifists in some way.
Maybe it would be like it calms you down and it's your muscles relaxing where the hits don't hurt.
Or it just puts you in a different mental state where you feel like you're a little bit more reactive. I don't know. I can't imagine, because I read this story the other day and I'm like, alcohol's not necessarily my thing. And getting shit-faced drunk has not happened in a long time, and it certainly was not a regular thing for me. But so in those moments, man, it's all about your tolerance. He obviously had done that so much and so often that it didn't affect him in the way that it would that I think it affected him. It's easy for me to go, oh my God, if I'm shit-faced drunk, I can't stand up, let alone backpedal. While watching a quarterback's eyes, and he was fantastic. I'm kind of surprised you don't remember that name, but I forget that you're a child.
Well, I had to just once I saw him in that Chargers uniform, I was like, oh, I remember him on the Chargers.
Yeah. All right, let's go get to some fun stuff, because I mentioned to you yesterday about this World Cup story will have some legs, and at least pay attention to it. I mentioned to you guys that Seattle, the local Seattle World Cup organization. So you've got a local group in each one of these towns that's kind of helping to do all the logistics. They decided before the game was ever announced that one of the games that they host in Seattle on June 26th of next year will be a, quote, pride match. And it will be a day to celebrate the LGBTQ community. And they announced that before the games were ever announced. Well, then they found out what the break was going to be and what teams would be playing there. And there is a potential that June 26th matchup in Seattle will feature Egypt and Iran. This is a problem because in Egypt, LGBTQ people risk arrest under morality laws, while in Iran, it's considered illegal and punishable by death. So, in a letter to FIFA, the Egyptian Football Association said that this is a major conflict with our region's cultural, religious, and social values, warning that the LGBTQ supportive activities could, quote, provoke sensitivities. Iran's Football Association had called the Pride match branding, quote, irrational, and said Iran had also protested to FIFA, claiming it violates the organization's longstanding tradition of neutrality. More to come. Justin, I hate the remember when I think it was San Diego. San Diego was going to have a professional soccer team. And so they said, hey, we got a great idea. Since nobody here is creative or wants to take a stand or be a leader, we're going to let the community name the team. And we'll put it up for a vote. And this has happened. It started with a horse. There was a horse several years ago where the owner said, hey, I'm going to put this out there to the public. You guys name this horse. And the winning name was Horsey McHorseface. Horsey McHorseface was the name of this horse thing, okay? So then San Diego was like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. It gets people involved. Kind of like when Utah was going to do their hockey team, remember? They're like, yeah, we're going to let everybody else name it for us. And then the community came back and they were like, yeah, we don't like your name. San Diego, the winning vote for the team name was Footy McFootface.
It's so dumb, but it gets
it's so
me
funny.
every
It's
time.
so dumb, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. So in Minnesota, they've done this thing the last couple of years. The Minnesota DOT basically lets the community name 6 different plow trucks. Now, the very first year they did it in 2020, going into the 2021 winter, they had 6 different plow trucks that were named. The very first one was called Plowy McPlowface. So it's staying with the theme. The people continued to do that. They also, that year, had Plow Bunyan, Snowby Juan Kenobi.
Good one. Good one. That would have gotten my vote.
F. Salt Fitzgerald. And you gotta. This will be a Chris Meharry one. You got to be a little bit of a Minnesota local to get the truck formerly known as Plow.
Little Prince reference.
The Prince reference there. Okay. In the following year, they had Plowosaurus Rex, Scoop Dog. Speaking of Martha Stewart, Blizzard of Oz, Edward Blizzard Hands. You've had Better Call Salt. That's to your Breaking Bad thing.
Nice.
Okay. Cleopatra.
I didn't see that one. That one's great.
Cleopatra. Clark W. Bliswald.
Good.
Taylor Drift. Do you like Taylor Drift?
That one's not bad.
Fast and Furious. Last year for the 2024-2025 winter, the 6 were off to see the blizzard. Snowtorious B.I.G., Plowabunga, You're Welcome, Don't You Snow.
One.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Skull Plow. I Came, I Thaw, I Conquered. Yeah. And then my favorite one from last year was Anthony Sledwords. Huh?
That's good.
Huh?
That's good.
So the Minnesota DOT and Minnesota Public Radio has announced that they're doing that again this year. Get your submissions in by December 19th at the department's website. Each person can only submit one name. Submissions are limited to no more than 30 characters. That includes letters and spaces. Literally, this is the 3rd rule for the Minnesota snowplow naming contest. I'm not kidding. The 3rd rule is no gosh darn vulgarity.
Respect.
Please keep politics out of the snowplow contest. That way you don't get, because there could be 1,000 Trump submissions.
Yeah.
And past winners will also not be considered. So if you've already submitted one that's been... So the genius behind the truck formerly known as Plow and F. Salt Fitzgerald, they're just on the sideline. We just got all that creative power just sitting out there.
But they should have like a Masters type deal where you're always invited. You won't win, but you can always write a submission. I love it. You can always play in the tournament no matter what, because those were some great names. Reward them.
A Champions Tour.
Yeah.
They
can have a Champions
What do you got
dinner.
left? Yeah. What do you got left in the bag for us? I did forget to tell you also, with the World Cup thing, there was something else that was announced with World Cup is actually, one of the things they've always held their hat on with soccer is, we don't take any breaks. There's no commercial breaks. There's no timeouts. It's 90 minutes of action. Well.
Oh, you're telling me you could get money from this?
At the 2026 World Cup, there will be quarters. At the 22-minute mark in the first half and at the 22-minute mark in the second half with 22 minutes remaining, so quarters, they're going to take a 3-minute hydration break. Now, international soccer's done this in the past. When the temperature gets to a certain point, they say, all right, we got to let the guys get some water in us, and that
makes sense.
This is a commercial break. This is the World Cup doing
Just
a commercial
call it
break.
a commercial break.
Don't understand why they don't, dude.
The fans will get a little upset. You deal with it, but calling it a hydration break, even worse.
Yeah. Hey, paying attention at all to winter meetings? There was a lot of baseball stuff yesterday, by the way.
I did hear about Schwarber. That was the one I heard about, and then the Mets relief pitcher going to the Dodgers. Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz goes to the Dodgers, and then the Mets end up picking up the Yankees closer. So a lot of shifting around. Schwarber was the big one. Schwarber ends up back to the Phillies. Diaz to the Dodgers. And
what was Schwarber's again? 5-year.
I've got it up here. Hold on 1 second.
300. No,
it's a 5-year deal. $150 million.
150. I was right at the
finalizing
start.
a 5-year, $150 million contract. So don't worry, Kyle Schwarber going to be just fine. I know a lot of you were worried. He'll do all right.
How will he put food on the table?
He's going to do just fine.
How will the NL runner-up for MVP make food on the table?
Luckily, he's got $50 million a year to think about it, or $30 million a year. Have you seen this? Have you followed the Sonny Gray thing at all? Sonny Gray was a pitcher with the A's, went to the Yankees, was with the Reds, and now with the Red Sox. And he had a comment last week that kind of it got into my circle, where basically when he signed with the Red Sox, he said, "This is great. I love being at a place that hates the Yankees." Which was odd because he did spend a couple of years with the Yankees. So Brian Cashman came out the other day and was like, hey, there's more to this story than people know. When he was with the A's, he made a plea to us to join the New York Yankees. And then when he got here, he hated it. The Cashman interview is really kind of fascinating. Did you read that article I sent you, Justin, about Cashman talking about this Sonny Gray situation?
Yeah.
Sonny Gray never left his apartment. In the years he pitched for the Yankees, he was miserable, hated New York, every aspect of it. And it showed. He had his worst years of his Major League Baseball career in the pinstripes. And then at the end of the tenure, told Brian Cashman, yeah, by the way, I lied to you. I never wanted to play in New York. I never wanted to be a Yankee. I just did that because my agent told me to lie to you. My agent told me if I just tell you that I really want to be a Yankee and I ask you to do everything you can to move mountains to get me over to be a Yankee, that you guys would do it and pay me a bunch of money. And I did it. I lied to you. You believed it. You brought me in. You paid me a bunch of money. I hated every minute of it. And now I'm glad I'm with the Red Sox because I can openly hate the Yankees.
Kind of sick. Kind of like, I see both sides where if I'm a Yankees fan, I'm like, screw this guy. Now we can openly hate him too.
Dude, I'll tell you, as a Yankee fan, you kind of got to get used to this. And I'm not even joking. Like, do you know the Ken Griffey Jr. story? Ken Griffey Jr.
I don't know this one.
The only team that Ken Griffey Jr. said he would never play for was the New York Yankees. And it went back to when his dad was a Yankee. And Ken Griffey Jr. noticed that his dad and Ken Griffey Jr. as a young black kid were treated differently than the white players or the children of the white players. And Ken Griffey Jr. thought of George Steinbrenner as an old racist and decided as a young kid, I'm never playing for the New York Yankees. In fact, one time he had a broken hand. There's a story that he had to sit out and he was at home, basically watching the game, and a fight broke out between the Yankees and the Mariners. And the story goes that Ken Griffey Jr. drove to the park and sat in the bullpen in case with a cast on his hand, just so he could get involved.
He's like,
if he had to.
I would love to punch a Yankee.
Just give me a chance to just throttle one Yankee. Yeah, Bo Jackson had a very similar thing. Bo Jackson hated Steinbrenner.
I do remember that because they kind of like screwed him over from college.
Yeah, it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers owner that kind of that lied to him and screwed him over, gave him a flight to bring him down to Tampa Bay to recruit him, basically to tell him they were going to draft him.
Mm-hmm.
They told Bo Jackson, this is not an impermissible benefit from the NCAA. You're going to be fine. Well, then the NCAA found out about it and removed his last year of eligibility from the baseball team. And so that was why he said, Tampa Bay can draft me. I'll never play for Tampa Bay. And then there was some stuff with Steinbrenner as well. I don't remember what the details were with him.
So
and Steinbrenner,
I had that mixed up because I thought that
you're
story.
real close, dude.
Yeah.
You're real close. It was Tampa Bay that did the thing that got him screwed out of his last year of baseball with Auburn. But there was also something with Steinbrenner, who was just
shocker. A bold white millionaire racist. Shocker.
Final story I got for you, dude, is this college football bettor. This story is from Yahoo Sports yesterday. A college football bettor lost $615,000, Justin, after Penn State, Clemson, and Texas all missed the college football playoff. This guy decided back in June 24th, strolled into the BetMGM Sportsbook at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, and placed a $615,000 wager on 3 college football futures. He bet on one of the 3 to make the college to win the college football national title. He had all 3 of those teams, and of course, $300,000 on Texas to win the national championship, $200,000 on Penn State, and $115,000 on Clemson. Hedged his bet 3 different ways. Loses $615,000.
You sent me that article. I read the headline and I started sweating. And I was like, I don't want to read this. Like, it stresses me out hearing those stories.
Justin, I'll come up with some more for tomorrow, man. Tomorrow we'll have Bruno with us around 7:30, but I appreciate you so much hanging out with me, man. Makes the mornings go super fast. Love having you around, buddy. Good luck today with the John Walters Media Row podcast. It's out now. So if you guys want to hear some of that, make sure you go check that out. Justin, I'll talk to you in the morning, okay, buddy?
Yep. See ya.
See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. here on The Rush, TheRushRadio.com.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bobby here at Land Rover Des Moines. I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas and to remind you that there is somebody special in your life that needs a 628 horsepower off-road land rocket Defender Octa under the tree for Christmas. So give us a call, click, or visit us at LandRoverDesMoines.com. Visit us in the showroom. We'll be glad you did.
Get ready, Des Moines. College basketball is heating up at Casey Center. On December 20th, the Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Bucknell Bison in a non-conference showdown you won't want to miss. Presented by Casey's. Feel the action. Hear the roar. Be there as the new-look Hawkeyes bring the intensity to the capital city. Tickets are going fast. Grab yours now at HiVTix.com and be part of the excitement on December 20th. Iowa versus Bucknell, presented by Casey's. December 20th, only at Casey Center. Be there.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with the chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the champagne of bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.